Shalom, 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 Brother Randy here. Well, we're getting after it today, getting this tree cut down and making sure that no other limbs are interfering with this area. But pretty much we were able to cut down all of the limbs, and what we're going to be doing is continuing to cut back and putting the logs over here for further processing right there, and then all of the tree branches, they can die back over here, and in addition to that, we will be able to move the fence over a little in order to create a little extra room. But a lot of branches fell back. We're going to be getting after that in a second. But you know, it's amazing. I've been watching, you know, a couple of the events that's been taking place in this crooked ass country that we live in, and it's amazing how all of these people they can perpetuate and do all types of crimes amongst the people, and they get away with it. And it's clearly telling me, as it should be clearly telling you, that there is no justice in this country. I'm from New York City, and one of the biggest things that you know, or threats or challenges that you know, a person, especially a young black man growing up in New York City, had to deal with was crooked, racist cops. Now, you would think that in a society where you have a bunch of cops, you have people within that society that is charged to administer justice to those people. You don't have that in a place like New York City. What you have is a whole bunch of cops that are brought from Long Island, Scarsdale, the suburbs, and they are charged to administer justice to people that are in the inner cities. And they're never going to get justice like this because they don't understand the inner dynamic of the challenges of the people, and they have no sympathy and no empathy. What do you do when you have a police force like the NYPD that constantly murders, robs, cheats, and kills the people and get away with it? I was recently made privy to a post on YouTube of a woman that was a NYPD officer literally slammed this pregnant woman to the ground. Now, what do you do with a situation like that? Where is the father or the husband of this woman? How is justice going to be administered to these people? Now, of course, you can sue the police department, but at the end of the day, what you're really doing is you're suing the people because they are paid with taxpayer dollars. How is that truly justice? Now, let me tell you what true justice is. True justice is when, because these people are lawless and they're not going to respect the people at all. And this has been going on, I'm just talking about in New York City. When you're going to find true justice in this country is when people start going to these cops' houses and administering the same kind of violence that they have administered on the people in which they're chosen to protect and paid for by the people. This is the only way that these injustices are going to stop and are not going to be perpetuated upon the people until the people themselves rise up and say no more. And if you want to go ahead and slam somebody's pregnant wife on the ground, how would you feel if somebody came to your home and did that to your wife or your child? If you want to murder somebody in cold blood, how would you feel if somebody came to your home and did that to you? See, if you get a lot of this stuff going on, then you're going to see a whole different change in the way that these people operate. Because if a cop feels as though he can just randomly kill somebody, rape somebody, murder somebody, harm somebody and cause bodily harm among somebody else's family members, and the only thing that's going to happen to this individual is a lawsuit, not to the individual, but to the police department, which is paid for by the people, you're going to continue to see this going on. We live in a lawless society. So if they're not going to respect the laws, why should I respect the laws? See, this is why I'm with, people like Faber and Filiberty that says that, why work a job and pay 35% of your income to these crooked ass people? And all they do is rob, cheat, and steal. And you're paying for it. It feels good not to be a W-2 or a second-class wage earner, because then I got to pay taxes to these people, and I ain't got to fund. We do pay taxes when we go to the store, when we buy gas, or all of these other taxes that are imposed. But why should I pay taxes on my labor to pay somebody that's going to perpetuate violence on me? I don't understand it. I don't get it. But hey, this stuff is going to continue to go on unless the people take up and say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm not going to take this stuff anymore. And if somebody does bodily harm to me and my family, I have the right to enact the same kind of justice that I feel is necessary, because I know that I'm not going to get justice from this system. Now, a lot of people may say, well, that's not the right way to go about doing things, and so forth and so on. Then, hey, well, all I just do is hope and pray that a day never comes where I'm put in a situation, because I'm not going to react. I'm going to respond. And I'm a methodical individual, and I think through everything that I do before I do it. Pity the fool. Pity the fool. Pity his family that ever thinks that they're going to perpetuate violence on the ones that I love and think that I'm going to file a lawsuit. You got to be out of your mind.